In today's cattle economy, producers are looking for every advantage they can find. And most producers realize the key to their profit opportunities is the genetic quality of their cattle. So an accurate, easy way to find out how your cattle are built to perform can be invaluable. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Dave Russell takes us to Oklahoma for the inside story about the value of finding out what's inside your cattle.
Stretching across 6,000 acres on the tall grass prairie of south central Oklahoma, the Parker Ranch is home to 3 generations. For Eddie and Karen Parker, their daughter Russlyn Ramsey, and her family, ranching is almost part of their DNA.
Absolutely. You know, I think it's every rancher's goal that it'll be a generational deal. I know my daughter's going to stay with ranching, and I hope my grandkids love it as much as we do. And they'll have the opportunity when the time comes.
It is a dream come true. I feel like God has just really blessed us to be able to come out here and raise your kids in an atmosphere where they get to know their grandparents and then to get to see the sacrifice and the hard work of both their grandparents and their parents. And I think that we'll be raising kids that are more appreciative of the hard work that it takes to succeed in life.
Success for the Parker Ranch is measured in part by the continual improvement of their registered Angus herd. As seed stock producers, they run more than 400 Angus cows and conduct an annual sale each October. To get the inside information on their herd's genetics, the Parkers rely on the Identity Profile for Angus.
We've been using Identity about 5 years. We started with Identity for several reasons, but the primary reason was we wanted a way to take the subjectiveness out of the testing that was available at the time. When the Angus Association started using the Identity Profile, it was just natural for us to go ahead and use the Angus profile so we'd get those increased accuracies.
We look at it as we're doing this we want every calf crop to be better. Who doesn't? And I'm never satisfied with the calf crop we've got on the ground because I always think that they can be that much better. So this allows us to make better decisions.
It's an investment in genetics. There's probably not a seed stock producer in the country that doesn't invest in genetics. Whether you're buying semen, buying a donor cow, buying a herd sire, you're investing in genetics. And if you don't invest in knowing what you've already got, you may be spending money on something that's not as good as what's already in your herd.
The Parkers feel the most logical and cost-effective investment in genetics is to test their whole Angus herd to get a benchmark. And the Identity Profile works right alongside their existing data on expected progeny differences, or EPDs.
One of the main things we were interested in when we started using it was the tenderness. It was something that there wasn't an EPD for. And the other values they had, the ribeye, the marbling, those added more confidence on our part in the EPDs the animals had. But when we got the tenderness, the possibility to have that, and that's something that we feel is extremely important.
We can measure the fertility traits as well. Maternal calving ease, heifer pregnancy percentage, stability in the herd, or productive life. Those are traits that stand alone in their field and are important to anyone that's keeping replacement heifers.
In addition to helping the Parkers decide which heifers to keep, the Identity Profile also helps them quickly determine which bulls are making the grade, even at a young age.
We've got 85 bulls. They've all got the new Identity enhanced EPDs through the Angus Association, and we're really excited about that because of the carcass accuracies, and that is going to enable us to do so much more with these young virgin bulls. A lot of people have reservations about using a young herd sire because they don't know what he's going to do. With the new Identity Profile, it's allowed us to look a little bit deeper. The accuracies have been bumped up, and so basically it's like we've got a glimpse into the first calf crop. The accuracies are about as high as what we would have done for what he would have had for his first calf crop.
To get maximum benefit from their use of the Identity Profile, the Parker Ranch prominently features the genetic data on their bulls in their internet and catalog marketing efforts.
The DNA technology through the Angus Association increases the accuracy on the EPDs for which their profile is set up. It increases it to the point that it's equivalent to having the first calf crop on the ground. And that kind of information puts you 2 years ahead of where you would have been. When you're selling a 18-month-old bull, you can show the people the accuracy you would have 2 years from now. So it really moves them forward a lot faster by using that type of information.
This year we've incorporated with the EPDs right below, so as you're looking, you can look at the EPDs, you can look at the accuracies, you can look right below and see the IGND scores, and I think that's really an advantage to our customers. As the bull's coming through the ring, all the information is there and it's presented, plus you can see the whole package there.
To implement the IGND profile on their operation, the Parkers worked with IGND's Brian Geneva, who helped them see how the power of DNA could assist them in making more informed breeding and selection decisions about their cattle.
Brian has been a good friend and a good teacher in getting started with the DNA testing. He showed us how easy it was to take the samples, and when he showed us the results we could get by doing that, it was a pretty easy sell for us. But Brian has been very supportive all the way through. If we needed anything, needed any advice, he was always there and always available.
So you can make very confident decisions with IGND. You know, you can make faster genetic progress, you can market your cattle better, and you can actually produce a product for your customers or for your business segment that actually is tailor-made for that particular individual or segment.
The IGND profile has DNA information of value for both seed stock and commercial producers. For the Parkers, as purebred Angus producers, they encourage their customers to use the IGND profile to test their replacement heifers, so they can then select the best bull to match up to what their operation needs.
It works for us because it gives us the knowledge we need to produce the best animal we can produce with the available seed stock we have today. And if we can produce the best animal, then they need to know which one fits their operation. That's why it's important for the commercial cattlemen or other registered operations to test their herd so they'll know where they are. You know, you can't improve on anything till you know where you're starting.
If I'm a commercial producer and I know where my strengths are and I may have identified where my weaknesses are, I can keep my strengths and make them stronger, and I can also identify my weaknesses and make them, you know, stronger as well, or fill the gaps. So now I can move forward, you know, producing that calf that really fits my business model.
While the IGND profile is powerful and comprehensive, collecting the DNA sample is a simple process that's most easily done whenever producers are already working cattle.
We have several different methods. We have our hair collection, which is actually pulling hair out of the tail switch, and we put it in our tissue or our hair collector. We have a tissue collection tag as well. In our tissue collection tag, you actually have two options. You have the RFID, and you also have our regular tissue collection tag without the RFID. So you can have your RFID tag in your DNA collection all in one process. And then we also utilize blood cards or FTA cards.
We generally take our IGND samples at weaning. We use the blood card through the Angus Association. It's just part of going through, giving shots, measuring everything, weighing the cattle, and pulling a blood sample. It just takes about an extra 30 seconds to pull the blood sample. Just goes real easy, and it's just part of our program.
The Parkers recognize that the days of waiting 2 or 3 years to see how sire selection or other genetic decisions work out are over. As a result, the IGND profile has become a valued decision-making resource, and the Parkers view it as an investment in the future of their ranch.
As we improve our cow herd through the IGND testing, like I said, you're looking at making a difference in a calf that'll be born 6, 8, 10 years from now. And as my grandkids get older and want to come into the program, there'll be a cow herd that has a proven genetic profile to produce the type of animals that'll be in demand at that time. Those will be the cattle that would be on the cutting edge of the genetics.
On the Parker Ranch in Oklahoma, I'm Dave Russell for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Now, if you're interested in learning more about identity profiling, just log on to our website at cattlemanandcattleman.org.